Brawl on the riverfront in Montgomery, Alabama, now being investigated, and social media video may be providing a lot of the answers to the cops. The video shows the fight that ensued after a dock worker asked the owner of a boat to move. ABC's Rena Roy reports how things got out of hand so quickly, with not only 4 warrants now out for those involved, but even more arrests expected.
Dramatic video shows the moments a brawl broke out on the riverfront in Montgomery, Alabama. The fight happening over the weekend, witnesses saying it all began when a black dock worker employed by the city began to try to untie and move a pontoon boat belonging to a group of white men. That pontoon boat was reportedly docked where the city's riverboat needed to park.
You just felt so helpless for that man, like there's 5 or 6 of them on him.
Multiple individuals seen attacking the worker who tries fighting back. Bystanders jumping in to help, including one man seen swimming over to the dock from the nearby riverboat. When the riverboat docks, more people joining in. One man even hitting people with a chair, officers arresting him along with several others.
Oh my God!
They're going to have to determine who, in fact, really was, if any, were engaged in acts of legitimate self-defense and legally justified self-defense versus individuals who may be charged with being aggressors, who were initiating the altercation and who may be held accountable for their involvement in the altercation.
Authorities say charges are pending. The Montgomery Police Department telling ABC News there are 4 active warrants at this time, and there's a possibility more will follow after the review of additional video. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Texas crackdown on migrants crossing the southern border has included separating families. That is according to an attorney. That attorney representing migrant families says the number of cases has grown from 26 to 40 since July 8th. She says law enforcement is separating fathers from their spouses and children and arresting them for trespassing. The women and children are then turned over to U.S. immigration officials for processing. Most of the separated families are reportedly from Venezuela and Colombia. She is urging the federal government to step in and help reunite her clients.
The judge presiding over the alleged election interference case against former President Trump wants the lawyers involved back in court for a hearing this week. Both sides want protective order motions to be heard, and the judge wants that done on or before this Friday. The special counsel has raised some concerns that the Trump team's protective order would allow Trump to take notes during the discovery process that includes personal identifying information of the witnesses in the case. Meantime, Trump and his legal team are fighting back, saying the prosecutor's proposed protective order would prevent the public disclosure of evidence and would restrict Trump's First Amendment rights. Both sides have been asked to provide a date this week for both motions to be heard.
I was looking at the little thermometer in the corner.
Don't look.
And it went from like, it was just 91 a minute ago.
I know. You just don't even look at it.
Like, man.
It's going to pop up to 95 in a second.
That's how it works. It goes up quick this time of day. You'll see those temperatures race up. We were at 100 yesterday by 2:30, 3 o'clock. That's just the situation we're in. Hey, turns out too, it's International Cat Day. I didn't know that. But we got some pictures coming in on our KSAT Connect, and in this picture, well, it's International Cat Day. Let me sleep in. Cat just wants to get some sleep. Chill out on the couch. Can't blame him. Great shot. We appreciate it. We've got several more on KSAT Connect. If you want to check them out, you can go to our website. You can see all the pictures people are submitting. Back to school pictures too. We'd love to see those if you'd like to send those in. Here's a look at temperatures across the country. And yes, the northern half of the country is doing okay. I mean, it's August and it's 60 in Casper. You can't beat that. 82 in Chicago, 66 in San Francisco. But Texas, desert Southwest, and Florida, we have continued to just take it on the chin. Now, temperatures upper 90s there in Phoenix, 92 in Dallas, 94 in Orlando, 94 and very humid in Miami. And a look at Texas here. We're closing in on 100 in several spots. Brownsville, San Angelo, I think we'll be there soon. 95 in Laredo, and a lot of places will be in the triple digits this afternoon, including right here in San Antonio. 102 at 3 o'clock, 104 at 4 p.m. 104 is our high temperature, and we're still right at about 100 at 8 p.m. Last night at 8 p.m. we were still at 101. As we get into tonight, slow to cool down, but we do get into the 80s by 11 p.m. and by midnight, 85. It was a busy day yesterday across the eastern half of the country. We're going to take a look at some of the storm reports. and show you where those storms are now, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Justin, thank you. Now to the new warning about a popular scam targeting people that use the Cash App Zelle. ABC's Ariel Reshef with a look at the text messages that look like they're from a bank, but are actually from crooks.
A warning about an infamous scam once again targeting users of the Bank of America app Zelle, costing them thousands.
We looked at each other and we were like, this might be a scam.
Fraudsters call or send realistic-looking text messages that appear to be from Bank of America, urging customers to ignore alerts about fraudulent charges or suspicious money transfers.
It's very pernicious what they do. Not only are they posing as your bank, they claim to be reaching out to protect you from fraud. And the fact that they're protecting you from fraud is a reason for you to trust them and follow their instructions.
That's what happened to Rachel Adler, who says she lost $5,500 after she received a text asking her if she'd made a $432 charge at a Walmart in Texas. When she replied no, she immediately received a call. She thought she was talking to a representative from Bank of America.
He sounded very kind. He seemed to be very educated, patient, caring, all of these things.
But turns out it was a scammer. The man telling her someone was using digital money transfer service Zelle to withdraw money from her account.
Did you make 2 Zelle transfers, one for $2,000, one for $1,500? And I said no.
Then Adler says the man instructed her to wire money back to her account. But turns out all that money went straight to crooks.
Then I noticed that at the top of the account, the $2,000 I had just Zelled to myself was now a debit.
And it didn't stop there. The man warned her she'd get a text from Bank of America about a suspicious transfer, but to disregard it. And sure enough, she did.
Those were the things that he was preemptively saying, you're going to receive this text from the bank and you don't have to pay attention to it because we're handling it on this phone call right now.
In a statement, Bank of America telling us they prioritize client protection and will never ask a client to send money to themselves or anyone.
That was Ariel Reshef reporting. Robots are now part of a research project that aims to help people keep cool. How the high-tech participants are helping researchers learn more about the effect that heat is having on our bodies.
New research indicates the weight loss drug Wegovy may reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, or heart disease related to death by 20%. That is according to results from a major clinical trial involving people with cardiovascular disease. It's the first trial to show a weight loss drug alone can have such protective effects. Novo Nordisk studied Wegovy for prevention of major cardiac events in non-diabetic adults with heart disease who were obese or overweight. The finding of 20% reduction in heart risk was higher than many experts had anticipated. The results still need to be peer reviewed.
Meantime, a new study shows properly sized blood pressure cuffs are crucial if you want to get an accurate reading. It indicates that patients who fit in the smaller cuffs tend to get inaccurately low readings when using a regular size cuff. And for people who need large or extra large cuffs, the results are often too high. Cuffs do come in 4 sizes, but most providers only use the regular sized one because it's easier than switching back and forth. The study stems from a clinical trial with 195 people in Baltimore. Blood pressure devices help to diagnose hypertension, a leading cause of heart disease and stroke worldwide.
The Red Cross has altered its blood donation policy to allow more gay men to give. The organization's previous policies banned most gay men from donating blood regardless of their health. That was in line with rules set by the Food and Drug Administration. Back in May, the FDA changed those rules to rely more on screening questions about specific behaviors and medications to reduce the risk of transmitting HIV. Effective yesterday, the Red Cross has officially adopted those changes and putting them into practice. The American Red Cross supplies about 40% of the blood supply in the U.S.
Now to the dangerous heat. There are an average of about 700 heat-related deaths in the U.S. each year. ABC's Ginger Z with how a robot is taking on the heat to help us stay safe.
Phoenix, Arizona is still baking after having the hottest month ever for any U.S. city on record. Heat is the #1 weather killer, more than tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods. And in Phoenix, it's especially deadly when they don't cool off at night.
We have the buildings holding on to that sunlight. It creates this solar oven in Phoenix.
So here at Arizona State University, they are using this. It is called Andy. It is a mannequin/robot where they can simulate really any human and how they act around heat and how heat impacts them, especially the all-important threshold of what drives somebody to heat stroke.
Andy stands for Advanced Newton Dynamic Instrument, and he's the first one to be able to go outdoors.
The researchers can even simulate different age, weight, and skin colors to see how all demographics react to heat.
Andy is like a human. Andy can breathe, sweat. He has a skin temperature, so when you touch him, it's kind of skin is warm.
Oh, wow.
You can see how heavy he's sweating right now. So if we were to put a human through this, you could see how much water they would be losing. Andy could have a different body mass index. Andy could have a different size. Andy could be overweight. Maybe Andy takes medication. So Andy can mimic all these different body types.
They also measure blood distribution and metabolic heat generation. In future, they hope to be able to detect which organs shut down first and how fast. We dressed Andy to test how different it would be running in a t-shirt versus shirtless.
There is less
flux already.
So that means it's essentially accumulating at his chest.
Take a look outside with live cam. Not a cloud in the sky.
Not 95 yet, though.
It's not 95 yet. I got money on it.
On 95?
We're going to be 95 degrees. In
Come on, that's not even a bet.
I think you're probably right.
Well, I need money to buy my Mega Millions tickets. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming up.
1.5 billion or something.
That'll buy a really nice air conditioner. 92 so far today. The average is 97. The record is 104. We're forecasting 104. That was set back in 1953. We very well could get there later this afternoon, and it may even get a little bit hotter next couple days. We take a look at that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
As we said, happening today, you have a chance of becoming America's next billionaire. It's, an extremely slim chance, though. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot has climbed to $1.5 billion with a B dollars.
If no one wins it, the Mega Millions drawing next could be one of the largest in history, but don't plan on entering a new tax bracket anytime soon. Once again, the odds of winning the Mega Millions jackpot, no matter what the size, 1 in 300 million.
Are you in the company pool?
Yeah.
Are you, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay, I think everybody on the noon show is in the company pool at this point. So tomorrow when you tune in,
I'll be here regardless.
It'll be very interesting.
I'll be here regardless.
I think the odds are better of, just a thunderstorm just popping up out of nowhere here in South Texas than.
That's kind of scary.
Wow. 1 in 300 million?
Yeah, that's.
You're just not planning on it, are you?
No, not really. But you never know. You never know.
If our company pool could just win more than $3 or $4, I'd be happy.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
That's all we've been able to get lately.
Well, guys, yesterday was a busy day on the East Coast. There were a lot of storms. This is a huge number. 630 reports of severe weather. Most of those were strong wind reports. There was roof and power line damage, but I did see some stuff on social media of potential tornadoes. They haven't quite mapped them out yet. The Weather Service goes out and surveys those kind of things, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were a couple tornadoes as well. Travel delays continue. I was looking at some of the airports. There are still some delays. It's a cascading effect. If you shut down some of the airports, which they did yesterday because of storms, it just lingers over right into the next day because they got to play catch up. So just know there are still some delays going on because of yesterday's weather. The severe weather today, not as widespread, but there will be some across parts of Georgia and Alabama. And then get up into parts of Colorado and Nebraska. There could be some stronger storms and maybe even a storm or two across far north Texas. But obviously not here. You see the storms this morning were clustered over parts of Arkansas, now moving in across the southeast. A good little cluster of rain, in fact. That's exactly what we need It's just not in the cards, at least not yet. It will be. It will be. We will eventually see some showers and storms like that at some point. Once these fronts start getting a little bit further south, they're just not making it here yet. We had some morning clouds. Those have since gone away. And we've got clear skies. 92 at the airport, 94 Stinson, 93 Kelly, 92 at Randolph. Here's the feels like number when you factor in the humidity. Feels like 103 in New Braunfels, 101 in Bulverde, 98 in Castroville. Probably not quite that hot in Devine, but you get the idea. It's hot and sticky, and the forecast for today calls for a high around 104. We'll hit that between 4 and 5 o'clock, but it takes until usually 8, 9 o'clock for us to drop below 100, and then you'll see the gustier winds kick in. Southeasterly winds 15 to 20 potentially as we get into tonight. I want to take a look at the rivers very quickly and hit some of the major rivers around the area to show you that there is no stream flow. I mean, there may still be some water in some of these rivers. This is Nueces near Uvalde. Well below average there. Frio, there's still some water flowing. It's at 4.7, but this is well below the average. Medina, same story. I think you get the trend here. It's all bad. Guadalupe River, near zero. This is near Spring Branch. And then the Comal, of course, which is almost always flowing, but it is still well below the average. Rainfall is needed very badly to get some of these rivers and lakes back to where they used to be, but high pressure just does not want to move. It continues to wobble around, but it makes its way back over us, and that'll be the case going into the weekend, and that keeps temperatures very toasty. Potentially up around 105 each and every day. We'll go 105 tomorrow, but 106 Thursday, Friday, and then maybe a slight quote-unquote cool down as you get into early next week. We'll be right back.
Ooh, there's some back-to-school energy on SA Live today.
Yesterday, it was a cheer squad down at Market Square. So who's with you today, Fiona and Mike?
I tell you, we continue to make our way to the top of the class.
Yep, it is our neighbors across the street, the Providence Progressions. They are going to be here. We're going to hear all about their dance team, and for a lot of them, senior year, they're going to put on a show for us as well.
All right, and hey, with, of course, back to school comes busy meal prepping time, right?
Aaron Chase is here. You got a tip about pre-making peanut butter and jellies, right?
I know, right? Freezer PBJs. You want to put the peanut butter on both sides of the bread. That'll keep the jelly from making the bread soggy. And then when you go to put them back into the bread bag, wrap them in a paper napkin, put them back in the bread bag, and store them in the freezer just like that.
Great tips to make all those meals so much easier for back to school. All right, it is Tuesday, a Try It Tuesday, and I kind of sort of tried something. It is called hurling. It is an ancient Gaelic sport. There is a team here in town, and they're actually going to the Nationals coming up here, and I don't know if that's one of those games that I necessarily would want to actually participate in because it's rough.
You know what? This is a great game to participate in. Yes.
No, wait, I got this whole show to do.
There's
Please
no
don't.
water. There's no water, okay, but this is the Splash Tower, and it's part of the Garden Ridge Market Days. So much family fun to have, free to attend, and all for a good cause.
Might as well make it fun. Okay,
there we go. SA Live, Mike's on Mike, okay? And we want to know, what was your favorite lunch at school, or where did you go off campus for lunch? Let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, I want Aaron's lunch. She makes a lot of good stuff. So we have a whole lot more coming up on SA Live, so stick around.